2 words. Tyrese Haliburton. I mean, look at this shot. Look at this picture. Hang it up, frame it. I mean, just absolutely an electric game like many of these finals playoffs games have been. The Pacers only led for 0.3 seconds of this game. It is really, it's about how you finish. It's not really how you start, I guess. But I think there's a lot to learn from game 1. I think it gives a lot more hope for the people that wrote off the Pacers. The Pacers are here. I mean, it's time to stop doubting them. But the thing I want to start off this analysis with is Tyrese Haliburton is truly on a historic clutch run during these whole playoffs. If you go back, this is game 5 against the Bucks. You'll remember the Pacers were up 3-1 at this point. Giannis and the Bucks, they were fighting hard. And I mean, I think they were trying to extend the series. I think Giannis is thinking this might be his last time in Milwaukee as a Milwaukee Buck, potentially. It's going to give it his all kind of thing. But Tyrese Haliburton, if you're a Bucks fan, you're probably happy with this matchup.
5 seconds, 4 seconds. Haliburton for the lead. 1 point.
This is the shot that sends the Bucks home. Potentially ends Giannis's Bucks career. It gets Haliburton's dad suspended when he jumps on the court and is talking to Giannis. But it doesn't stop there. I mean, this is the next round. So the Pacers took a 1-0 lead in Cleveland. They're the underdogs here. And in game 2, you'll remember Haliburton gets the rebound off of his own missed free throw. Runs it back.
They do have a timeout. Carlisle's going to let him play. Haliburton
step back. Cash money continues this streak of just clutch shots. But then it keeps going. This is round 3 against the Knicks in game 1. Look at this, 4.8 seconds. This is recreating that Reggie Miller moment.
He'll take it. He'll backpedal a 3 for the win. And
unbelievable. It gets the bounce, of course, creates the iconic photo. This, of course, ended up being just a 2, and the Pacers pulled it off in overtime. But, I mean, it's just been truly unbelievable. And it just keeps getting crazier because this is game 1 of the NBA Finals, the biggest stage. The Pacers didn't have the greatest game, obviously, but Haliburton comes through again in the clutch.
to win it. Final seconds, no fouls to give. Haliburton looking. Haliburton driving,
Tough
pulls
shot.
up, jump
Fading.
shot. It's good! It's good! With 3/10 of a second remaining. Timeout, OKC.
I mean, just an unbelievable shot at an unbelievable time on the biggest stage. I mean, you don't even call this bad defense. I think that's Case and Wallace. Just, man. Here's a graphic. It's showing the different game winners he's had or game tires. Just looking back, if somehow the Pacers pull this off, and even if they don't, this has just been, when it comes to the clutch, it's been unbelievable for Haliburton. Sometimes his stats don't jump off the screen. I mean, tonight I think he had 14 points. I think he averages about 19, but he's been clutch time after time, especially in these playoffs. And he's probably the biggest reason the Pacers are here. Look at this graphic. This is saying that in the last 3 minutes of games since 1971, when a team is trailing by 9 or more points, the record is 1 in 182. This is in the finals, any finals game. That one obviously being tonight. So really just truly a historic game. What a comeback. What a game winner. But let's go over some of the other takeaways from today's game. So when I was watching it, I thought from the beginning, from the outset, OKC was so aggressive as they usually are. And the refs were letting it play out, and it resulted in a lot of turnovers. They were forcing turnovers. They had active hands. I think the Pacers had 18 or 19 turnovers in the first half. 18, 19 turnovers, almost 20 turnovers in one half. You're destined to lose, right? Especially against a team like the Thunder. But the thing is this, the Pacers were staying close, and we'll talk about it in a second, but it's because of their transition defense for the most part. The Thunder weren't able to capitalize on all those turnovers. The other thought I had early in the game was it felt like the Pacers they were staying relatively close, but I mean, it was always around 10, 15 at one point, 8 a lot of times. But a lot of times it was because they were getting tough shots and making them. Siakam hit a couple kind of fadeaway shots. They were getting some late threes That's never really a good sign for your team. If early in the game they're staying in the game, but it's because they're making difficult shots, because it's just not sustainable. And when I was watching, I thought, man, this might be over pretty quick. And I don't think I was the only one thinking that. But here's an example. I mean, watch this possession. This is just 2-0. Not even 2 minutes into the game, and the Thunder were just all over the place from the beginning.
His off the
Looks
bounce
like the crowd is
makes him
rocking.
so much more dangerous. That's a 7-footer putting it
Look
on
at
the
this.
deck and going to the cup.
So already you're 15, even 14 seconds left in the shot clock. You've wasted almost 10 seconds, and you have your two best scorers or two best offensive players probably, and they're what, less than a foot away from the half court line? I mean, look at him jump the dribble. Oh my gosh.
Pascal Siakam poked away, but he gets it back, knocked away a second time, a third time. Siakam gets it back.
So somehow the Pacers still get it after a really good defensive possession.
Shot clock at 6.
Look at it's the length of J-Dub. Like, this is that wingspan that comes into play. I think he tips that and
Comes up short. Well,
so early, it just felt like, man, this defense came to play. I don't know. It looked like the moment was too big for the Pacers from the start. It almost felt like they were the more nervous team. And a lot of the narratives were like offense versus defense. How are the Pacers going to look against one of the best defenses ever? And from the beginning, it looked like not very good. But look at this tweet. It says, 18 turnovers in the first half. You'd think Indy would be down 30, but their transition defense has been excellent. They've allowed just 9 points on those turnovers. Their defense is keeping them in this game. I think you really do have to give credit to this Pacers defense, especially early. That's how they stayed in the game. Like he said, it was only 9-point transition points off of those 19 or 18 turnovers. That's staying with the play, slowing it down, not letting OKC capitalize. This game could have got out of hand fast. And that kind of brings us to another point, another narrative, another analysis before this series started. A lot of people thought that this series would be determined through the turnover battle. And if you look at it, I mean, like look at this tweet. The Pacers have 18 turnovers and 18 fewer shots at halftime. This series is going to be quick. I think a lot of people thought that at halftime. But this is what I'm trying to get at. This guy says, lost the turnover battle, referring to the Pacers, by the way. Lost the turnover battle, 25-7 on the road and still won. That's the point. I mean, 25-7 in the turnover battle. That's all, there's no way you win that game, right? But here's the other side of the story. This is where, rebounding really wins rings. They out-rebounded the Thunder 56-39. And I mean, that's another side of the story, along with the transition defense that really kept the Pacers in this game, especially in the offensive boards. They only did 3 more than the Thunder, but they got some big clutch ones, especially in the fourth. We'll talk about that in a second. But let's take a second to appreciate Pascal Siakam. He obviously won Eastern Conference MVP, Eastern Conference Finals MVP, but he was excellent in this game. 19 points, which led the Pacers, by the way. Nobody really dominates the scoring on this team, and that really speaks to the style of this team and the style of this era in some ways, where you have Shea, who's averaging over 30 a game, and then you have a team like the Pacers who are really doing the team offensive thing. But Siakam came through clutch. He had 19 points and 10 rebounds, and I think he had 3 or 4 offensive rebounds, but they came at really big times. It really felt like he had 10 or 20 out there. You got to ask yourself, where would the Pacers be without Siakam? He's been on a championship team before, and he came in clutch for that Raptors team, you'll remember. And, the Pacers will really need him to play at this level or even better if they want to have a shot at this thing. But that brings us to our next point. The fourth quarter for the Pacers is really where they reeled this thing in. They had 6 3-pointers, 2 from Miles Turner. You'll remember he had that bank shot, which was big, 2 Obi Toppin threes, which was huge. And then you had this nasty step back 3 by Nembhard, who had an excellent fourth quarter, by the way.
Tyrese is not even the main ball
The
handler at
one-on-one
this point
versus
in time
Shea
because the
just gets in
defense
his
has been so
bag.
aggressive.
Nembhard steps back, 3-pointer. Got it! 3-pointer from Nembhard.
Nembhard definitely has his flaws when it comes to I don't want to say offensive IQ, but he definitely has his flaws, but he's been clutch in these playoffs also. And this was a big shot that made it 105-108. I remember thinking when he hit the shot that, they're still in this game. They still have a shot. Obviously, this sets them up and keeps them in the game and gives, Haliburton the opportunity to hit that game winner. But it got really scrappy in the fourth, especially late in the game. What else can you ask for as an NBA fan? This was a really good game. Look at this graphic. It says, insane but true, the Pacers are 5-3 when trailing by 15 or more points in these playoffs. That's a crazy stat. When trailing by 15 or more, 5-3, to even have a winning record or even an even record, it's insane, but it speaks to the resilience of this Pacers team. I think I said this earlier, but you could easily be like, this was just a fluke game. They got lucky, but they keep doing this. And maybe they'll keep doing it and somehow pull something crazy off. In this clip, I know Shea will touch on that idea.
I don't know. It happened so fast. I feel like we got matched. He got down going right, pulled up from midi, and knocked down the shot. I don't know. It didn't feel like anything crazy. He just made a play with the time winding down. We had control of the game for the most part of it. Now it is a 48-minute game, and they teach you that lesson more than anyone else in the league, the hard way.
So Shea kind of touches on two things. First, I think he kind of downplayed Haliburton's game winner. Maybe that's just the competitive spirit. But I mean, he did hit a tough shot, tough game winner over Cason Wallace. After Shea missed a shot that was totally makeable, especially for him. So I feel like you have to give Haliburton some credit there, and maybe he will later. But the second part he's saying, I think he's totally right. It's you really have to play till the game's over, especially against the Pacers. They keep proving this, that like if you give them, even a sliver, they're gonna take it and they're gonna execute. Let's go ahead and look at the box score real quick and see if anything stands out to us. So, like I mentioned, Siakam led the team in scoring with 19 points, 10 rebounds. But look at this rebounding. Nesmith had 12. Haliburton had 10. You didn't get the assist numbers from Haliburton, but the rebounding was there. And it wasn't from the bigs. Siakam obviously got his 10, but Nesmith and Haliburton, that's huge for them. And then, Siakam did have 4 offensive rebounds. Toppin clutched 5 3-pointers. I mean, huge for them. 17 points. I think looking down here, Shea had he had a great game. He had 38 points. Obviously 14 for 30 isn't like spectacular for SGA for his standards. But if you watched, he was scoring at will at times and played 40 minutes. He really was dragging this team, their offense, trying to get them to win, along with 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals. But I think the story here is 2 things. The other positive is Lu Dort. Lu Dort had a great game, especially defensively. 4 steals and 2 blocks. He hit 5 threes for them. I think SGA and Lu Dort are the guys who really played well today, but it stops there. I think everyone else had a okay game. Hartenstein, obviously his minutes are down in this series, and that's a matchup thing. But Jalen Williams, I mean, he had 17 points on 6 for 19 shooting. It's not great. You really need Williams to step up here if you're OKC. The numbers, they don't look that bad, but if you watched, I mean, he didn't have a great game. But I mean, the star of the show, in a negative way, is Chet here. Chet 2 for 9, 6 points. He only played 24 minutes, and honestly, it was probably for good reason. He just didn't seem to have presence in this game, and I think Coach Daigneault saw that. A lot of times when he was in, it just felt like he's watching SGA. It felt like that with Jalen Williams. But the difference is Jalen Williams missed shots today that he often makes. And I think Chet he just did not have a good game, and they're going to need him to be better if they're going to be the team that they've been all season. Let me know in the comments if there's anything else, any other statistics that I'm not pointing out that you think are important. Obviously, that 3-point percentage is huge at 46%. But the thing is, it really wasn't that good until the fourth. The fourth is where they really stepped up and increased that 3-point percentage. I thought this was kind of cool. 10:18 p.m. He tweets out, "It's got to be the shoes." And what's he referring to? At first, I searched Tyrese Haliburton shoes, and I thought it was these. I don't think these are the shoes. These are hideous. What he's referring to is these, which were announced by Puma earlier today. They tweeted out introducing the Hali 3. You get some closer looks. I think it's a better looking shoe than whatever these are. But I think, man, what a moment where Tyrese Haliburton can be the athlete to promote the brand, push it forward. Look at this picture. He's hitting the game winner in his shoes. What a time to get a signature shoe in the finals. I mean, wow. And then we can end off with this picture. Another iconic photo. Kind of speaks to the resilience of this team, the fight of this team, the chemistry of this team. Now, let me know in the comments who you have. Does game 1 change anything for you? Who do you have winning this series? I think I still definitely lean towards OKC winning this. I think before the series, I thought it would be in 5 games, even maybe 4. After this, I think it pushes it to at least 6. It seems that there's a route at least that the Pacers could pull this off, because it seems like they could get another game somehow, like a close one, and then they could have a blowout. It seems like they always have one of those, but let me know in the comments, please, who do you have winning this? Does game 1 change anything for you? The thing to close off this video on is this. There's been a lot of clips, a lot of people trying to go viral about kind of criticizing the playoffs, criticizing the finals, the CBA. Check out Pa'a's video. He reacted to one of those where you had a guy saying, you know, he misses the super team era. We need LeBron and Steph in the finals, KD, those kind of guys. And while those things, they have their positives, they were good times. Looking back, like a lot of those games were blowouts. And I'm not sure about these ratings are down statistics that are being put out there. All I know is if you like basketball, this is this is good basketball. This is fun to watch. There's something special about going into a season and not really being sure who's gonna win. Now I know the Thunder, they came in this season as a favorite to make it to the finals, but it was the Celtics who were really the favorite to repeat, which is ironic because this is gonna be the 7th season in a row that we have a new champion. And as a basketball fan, especially just trying to be unbiased and enjoy basketball, what more can you ask for? Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you like this new era of basketball? Do you think the Pacers can pull it off? And if they do, who do you think will be the NBA Finals MVP? Siakam? Or do you think Haliburton will get it? Let me know in the comments. And thanks for watching Sports Pantheon.